We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Kern High Network Football live at Foothill High School as the Trojans host the Stars. I am Kenny Calvin. I'm joined by my big bro and partner, Vance Pong, Director Julian Wilson on producer-director duties tonight. It's going to be an amazing night of action. Southeast Yosemite League, Foothill High School, 5-0. Versus North Stars, 1-3.
5-0, and we were just talking about that, Kenny. Hi, everybody. Julie and I were just chatting about it, too, and he goes, man, it doesn't seem like there's been that much hubbub about it, but out here in the southeast part of the city, I'll guarantee you there's been a lot of chit-chat going on about these Trojans. They're in their pink socks tonight honoring survivors of breast cancer and the awareness of it all. North High in the white tops, red pants, as Kenny Calvin said. We're at Foothill High School. This is live exclusive coverage of high school sports in the Kern High School District. Tonight, football, we're at Foothill High, 5-0 Foothill, welcoming in the 1-3 North, but don't you dare be fooled about the 1-3 North, and 1-3 North is a scary 1-3. Here's a low kick, it's a 2-iron, and just shot to the 12-yard line, taken just right into his hands, and that's going to be a nice opportunity for North High School to start off the game with pretty good field position. You will probably hear maybe some wind in our mics, and Julian, I must tell you, our mics sound great tonight. Headsets sound perfect, man. I mean, they always do, but sounding great. But there's wind out here tonight near Foothill High School. Don't know where you are, but it's windy out here just off of 58 in Fairfax. So it is 1st and 10. We're at Foothill High School. North High School on a first down, the ball at the 30-yard line. Wide patch out to the left. Taken, thrown out to the left, and bobbled for a second. Double pass,
double pass,
and it is incomplete. So North High starts out with some trickeration. They put the ball in the hands of Markai Shaw. Shaw, who we saw out at Arvin, had a breakout game against the Bears a few weeks ago, and Shaw was going to toss that one on a double pass. He got in trouble, had to come back against the grain here and throw it up, but that wind is coming straight off of the northwest, and I'll tell you what, it gobbled up that ball and just flew for a second. Now Shaw in the shot in the Wildcat gives it over to Evan Siffing, another name that we got a lot of the other night at Arvin High. So to let everybody know, remind you, the North High School Stars were out at Arvin a few weeks ago, and it was a shootout for the first quarter, and then all of a sudden North High just put a whooping on the Bears, and a big part of it was that young man right there in the Wildcat formation, Markai Shai. He's going to take it himself, and great job by the coaching staff for the Trojans. on a 3rd and 5 for North High with Shaw in that Wildcat. I think everybody in the whole stadium kind of had a good feel what was going to happen there.
Well, one of the things we know is that the defense of Foothill is led by a former head buster himself in Leonard Nevels, one of the greatest Highland fullbacks and linebackers. He has this defense playing at another level. I went down to meet with him during pregame, I should say. He has this big chain link padlock on his neck as a necklace, old junkyard dog style. Shout out to my frat brother Leonard Nevels and Coach Decker.
Punt. Ooh, a good one. A good one. Boy, that wind just knocks it down, though, doesn't it? And it bounces up to the 30-yard line. Really, really good punt from North High School. So, 1st and 10 for Foothill High School. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention this fantastic-looking athletic area out here at Foothill High School. They went through a great renovation project. And for any of you that used to come to the Foothill football games or track events out here, you knew that it was some beautiful old school bleachers and stands and announcers booth. This thing has been redone, and we are standing on top of perfection out here at Foothill High School. What a beautiful job they've done with the track, the entrance, the announcers booth. Man, we could have a pretty huge big party up here. It's a big spot. Run play to start off this offensive series, and they put it in the hands of Sandoval. Sandoval thrown down inside North territory at the 45-yard line. Wow.
Foothill High School averaging 300 yards per game, but right away you got a holding call that's going to bring that back, nullifying a 20-yard gain. But I can't do a Foothill broadcast with you, VP, without giving a shout-out to my captain, who is now the principal of Foothill High School, former driller turned Foothill principal, Ryan Guyvett.
Ryan is one of the great ones, and we'll be thanking him and his staff as we move along into the evening here. What a great human being Ryan is.
Oh, yeah. You know, VP, he taught me how to play at a high level. When I was one of the youngest guys on the field, he was always my senior, and he was a sophomore as my freshman year at Bakersfield College, one of my great team leaders.
Draw play right up the middle. They try to just stay in between the hash marks. North High defense having nothing to do with it. So I'll tell you what, the first play for the Trojans was a big gain inside North territory, but it was nullified on a holding call. Kevin Sandoval with about a 35-yard run. We're just underway, no score. North had the ball first, and their first play from the line of scrimmage, they let the cat out of the bag with a double pass. But now it's 2nd and 17. Ball is at their own 22-yard line. Foothill going from right to left in the all-black uniforms. A pitch, and it's going to be out to Tyson Reynolds. Reynolds to the right side.
VP, I had the honor of being Tyson Reynolds' counselor when he was a 7th grader, and I always talked about, hey, you have a million miles of potential, but it can only happen if you become the right kind of person. Beautiful experience to see him out here getting an opportunity.
I'd have loved it if you were my counselor. I had some great ones at Arvin High School. I was very lucky, very lucky guy. But you would have been great for me. Stay focused, Vance. 3rd and 14. So a test already for this Foothill offense. They pack them in tight. Everybody's packed in tight.
Double wing set.
Looks like they're going to throw, and they are. Not a lot. It's a kind of a stretched out string, and Manji in trouble. Manji runs out of real estate, takes a big loss, and did not get rid of the football, so he's brought his team even further back. I thought he might just let go of it to at least get back to the line of scrimmage, but Manji in trouble.
Unfortunate mistake, because one thing that you know when you go play action, you don't have a lot of time anyway. Once that first read isn't there, you usually want to try to get rid of the football. He tried to extend the play and get to the outside and ended up losing probably 8 more yards. Horrible decision, affecting field position.
All right, 4th and 14. That's not right. It's got to be 4th and 22 maybe. Real close to 20 at least. Scoreboard not correct. There you go, Mark Heffernan right below us. He's got the same visual as I do. The great Mark Heffernan below us, along with the Lynch Mob, keeping stats. It's going to be a punt. Perfect snap, and the wind is blowing with that ball. Bobbled on the ground, on the ground. Look out. Oh, what a nice cut. Flags fly.
Mappa with the return. One shoestring tackle away from making a huge highlight film.
So Jan Reka Mappa. But flags on the play. Let's see what the call here. The white hat right at the 50-yard line. And it's going to be a block in the back. And I wanted to make this announcement early tonight. The Kern County Officials Association, KCOA, great group of men and women that make up our Kern County Officials Association. Absolutely, positively, 100% get on board and start getting paid to be an official. Sign up. Go on their website, kcoa.org. Get on there and start that process of becoming an official. And you've always thought you might be good at it. Maybe your playing days are over. You just want to be where the action is. They could use the help. They need some more people on there, men and women. Get involved with KCOA.
Especially if you're at the game always complaining about how bad the officials are.
I was listening to the Seahawks-Rams game on the way over here, and they talked about that. Shaw to the left side, and you're going to see a lot of Shaw tonight. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah, our first time seeing the North Stars, Carson Bennett was the quarterback. You have to wonder if there's been some injury issues over there because we haven't seen him at all, and Shaw has been in a Wildcat.
Interesting you would say that. I talked with the coaching staff of North High School before the game, and I asked that kind of a generic question. Everybody healthy? I don't want to pick it apart. And they said, everybody's good. But you're right. Now it looks like Bennett behind center. Maybe. Is it Bennett behind center, or is it Shaw again?
Definitely looks like Bennett, and that is.
Kenny mentions it, and it's golden. Bennett to Shaw. And become a Kern County official and get bumped into by one of the big linemen. But they at least helped him up, though, Kenny. They at least helped him up.
Yeah, we would occasionally look for a zebra when we would come across the middle.
You hear that, Julian? Our director, Julian Wilson, and I were having a fun time with Kenny pregame. Back in the Wildcat, it's Shaw. Shaw takes a high snap, going to run to this near side by us. Foothill, nice job. No gain. So great coaching staffs for both. We'll talk about both coaches as we get closer to the end of this quarter. We'd like to get the focus on the players for the first quarter of the game, but we will definitely tell you who their names are. Brandon Deckard, head coach for the Trojans, and what a job he's done getting this team to a 5-0 start. Coach Deckard, congratulations.
Well, one of the things about putting Shaw at the Wildcat quarterback is that it takes away the element of surprise. He's a very talented back as we get the timeout, but putting him back there, it's all eyes on him. You eliminate that element of surprise, and Foothill's figuring it out quick in this first drive. Timeout.
Got our first timeout of the evening. That'll give us a chance to reset. I'm Vance Palm alongside Kenny Calvin, Julian Wilson to our left, running everything technical tonight as always. A one-man wrecking crew, and Julian sets up, does everything for us, tears down. We're at Foothill High School, the Trojans hosting the North High Stars, and this also, again, a matchup of some old schools. North out in Oildale, Foothill over here just off the 58 freeway heading towards Tehachapi in the southeast side of the city. Look out and see the lights of some of the more prominent businesses in California, let alone Kern County, Bolt House Farms, just to our area. Kenny's talking to the aforementioned Ryan, and they try to stay on the ground here, the North High, but nothing doing on a 2nd 9, gobbled up again. So this North High offense, big line, strong line, great talented running back, and a second quarterback / starting quarterback in Carson Bennett, trading off duties with Markai Shaw. But this Foothill defense saying, hey, it sounds good, but we're here to stop them. 3rd and 9, Shaw again. Wants to throw, has a man, throws it out there, has his guy,
nice ball.
And it's caught. Look at this. What a nice pass to Xarian Wallace-Foreman. So Wallace-Foreman, best thing about that is Shaw got rid of it quickly. He threw that out quickly.
Great route by Wallace-Foreman, too. He was an extremely valuable player in that Arvin game as well. Did a lot of damage on the edge, causing some one-on-one matchups. And right away you see Shaw. He can pass the football. So, hey, Coach Cal, I can do more than run. That's what he's just telling me with that play.
I'll tell you what, this wind is really coming in, and maybe later we'll get a shot of the flag, our United States flag. It's coming hard right into the face of this North High offense. Shaw to his left. Now he sees some real estate. Will he cut up? There's a flag on this play, and Shaw running guys over, but the white hat, the referee from the back, saw a hole on the left side of the line. It came out pretty quickly, and I think that's what the call is going to be.
Yeah, we get the hole, but for the first time, we get to see Shaw in open field and how much of a load he is as he ran over 2 Foothill defenders.
And I'll tell you what, Kenny made a great point. Regardless of this hold right here, the hit he delivered at the end of the run had nothing to do with the penalty. So Shaw, look out for this young man, by the way. He's a junior.
Yeah, we watched him that game against Arvin, and we keep reiterating that because that was our only time, or my only time I got to see him. And he just looked head and shoulders above everybody on his roster.
First and 25 for the Stars.
May have been one lineman bigger than him.
First and 25, under 5 in this first quarter. A bunch quad out on the left side, 4 receivers, top of your screen. And Shaw says, perfect. Look out, everybody. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. I don't know. Looks like he may get tracked down at the 10-yard line. Good hustle out there. The crowd loves it from the Foothill side because Tyson Reynolds caught him, but the North High side just as stoked. How about that?
We
from the 32-yard line, bro. How's that?
Well, we talked about how dynamic he is in the open field. And next play right away, they go quads left, eliminating all the linebackers on the backside and go that naked wildcat power for about 60.
What a play. Shaw now trying to take it on the right hash, gets hit hard, maybe a gain of 1. It is going to be 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. We are going to dip below that 4-minute mark here in 5 seconds. And Markai Shaw kind of had his local debut to the community, at least on Kern High Network 3 weeks ago. Now all of a sudden, on the second night of October football.
Well, how about the effort by Tyson Reynolds? Because that definitely looked like a touchdown. And Tyson's probably the fastest guy on the field, and he showed it by putting that effort in.
Shaw cuts back up against the grain, and nobody can stop him. Touchdown, North High School. He's got that look about him that doesn't look like he's running real hard, Kenny, but he's also a very cerebral runner. He knows who's out there on the flatlands waiting for him. Cut up field, and really there was nobody who was going to stop him from 6 yards out after that. No way.
I'm going to throw a couple names out that he gives me glimpses of. A young Corey Dillon.
Sure.
A young Christian Okoye. So much bigger than all of who they're competing against, but deceptive speed once in open field.
PAT for the Stars. It's up and it's wobbler, but it's wide left. Wide left didn't make it. Storyline to show right now. Wide left.
And as you said that, look at that flag, VP. It's flowing wide south.
Let's see if Julian can give us a shot of that flag. I'm sure he can. And that's a real good look there. It's coming right from the north, basically, now. It's just shooting straight towards L.A., that wind. And we say that because it's definitely a factor. That ball got beat down by the wind. First play of the game for North was a double pass, and that ball just got caught up in the jet stream and was shut down. So something to keep in mind, whoever's punting or kicking from the north to the south. We saw on that punt earlier from Foothill, that ball just sails and takes off. So 3:33 remaining here in this first quarter, and it is a 6-0 ball game. Vance Palm alongside Kenny Calvin, Julian Wilson to our right. Tomorrow night, we will be at Bakersfield High School, and here's one for you. I'm going to be calling the game with one driller, Ricardo Van Horn.
Coach.
But then the public address announcer is right next to me, Kenneth Calvin.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be monumental. Monumental. You know, I'm a former Mr. BHS class of 94. They get to throw that out. Class of 2001 tomorrow. Wow, 27 years. Oh,
2001. 2001.
Wow.
Hey, here's the thing. At least I know we're going to get a lot of pub on Kern High Network.
Absolutely.
With you on the PA. You're going to be pumping us up. You better be. Here's the kickoff into that wind, and look at that. See how it just stops? Actually starts coming backwards, taken at the 15-yard line. And Foothill trying to get some good field position up to the 30-yard line. So a good start for the Trojans. Homecoming tomorrow night, Stockdale at BHS. We had Stockdale last week. And it was Coach Cornford and I were at Stockdale. And you talk about a school that has not let up on their student section. It is more fierce than ever. Tomorrow night with Coach Sheehy coming off a win over Centennial last Saturday afternoon. And they welcome in a hungry and mad Stockdale Mustang team for homecoming. My son Noah, the great Noah Palm, a freshman, is working on the float tonight.
MVP.
Great. He'll come up tomorrow night, but it won't be to see me. My kids always come up to see Kenny. My daughter walks all the way up to the top of the Renegade Stadium just to see another Renegade. A pitch to the near side, kind of bunched up. If he can get to the outside, maybe, but a good job by North High to run him down. About a 2-yard game. And a really good play out there. Good tackle by Maxwell Partain. So Max Partain, number 11, who was out there on the edge, as well as Brody Napier. We know Napier's going to take care of business. They get out to the far side and shut it down.
VP, the same thing I saw a few weeks ago out of North High is what I'm seeing now. They don't look like a 1-3 football team.
No.
They have the body styles to compete with anybody. They just don't have the depth to last. So let's see how this carries over as we get to the 2:43 mark in the first quarter.
Oh, the big fella. How about this? Goodness. And big run by Kalen Delani, sorry.
VP, he averages 144 yards per game. And is probably the biggest player on his offense, including all of the linemen.
Well, you have that, and then you have Shaw on the other side of the ball. Same kind of scenario.
Yeah, and they run that tight wing T set. Reminds you of the years that Joey Porter was on the field with Phillip Brown.
Saw Greg Kerr's understudy, Miles, was down. We were talking a little before the game, and I was, giving him a little Foothill knowledge, little Foothill background, and man, this is the home. This is the home that a lot of guys built. One of them, Joey Porter. The other, Lonnie Shelton. The other, Rashad Sheehy, the coach of the Drillers. He's like, really, really? I said, my man, there's so much history at this school. State champion basketball teams.
Man, a lot of my family members. My mom a Foothill grad.
How about this big run? Wow. Deloney again with the big run, Kenny.
And it's just that simple hat on a hat football, nothing fancy. Wing T set, and they go with that power through the 28 hole. And you see the effectiveness and why he averages 144 yards as he gains about 8.
I didn't know your mom was a Trojan.
My mom was a Foothill Trojan.
Where'd you go junior high?
Lincoln,
got it. Okay. Here we go. First and 10, 1:15 left in this first quarter. 6-0. North leads 6-0. Missed PAT. Quick little pitch underneath, and it's Deloney again. Deloney this time met with a bunch of stars, and they push him out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So this is a nice football game. I like this matchup. Two really good teams, very well coached, and let's see what goes on here.
Two huge running backs with huge potential. You see Deloney get that stiff arm on one guy, but one thing I love about North High, they're sending at least 6, 7, 8 hats to the ball. You have to do that in tackling groups when you're playing a team like this, or a talent like this, I should say.
2nd and 8, 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Again, as Kenny said, they're all bunched up in the wing T optics. Everybody's packed in tight. Manji, the quarterback, hands the ball off to Reynolds. Reynolds cuts up, gets the big first down. How about this? Fumble, ball out. Oh, and he picks it up himself. Well, the ball rolled out of bounds. Goodness. Woo.
Tyson Reynolds had that amazing effort where he tried to catch Markai Shaw. He gets the toss sweep and takes it out for about 20 yards. He's the fastest kid on the football field, and he'll let you know how good he is.
Love it.
I spent the pregame telling Julian the stories he would tell me about how great he was going to be. So it just definitely gives me excitement to see him out here fulfilling his dreams.
1st and 10. They're at the North High 26-yard line. This is the last play, or one of them, with the wind at their back. So let's see how this plays out here. They go right up the gut with it on the right hash, and fumble, ball on the ground. They scoop it up and pick. No flags, no whistles, and wow, the ball falls out, and it is Mitchell Stillion.
Wow.
Whoa.
VP, I thought the play was over. I took my eye off the pile, looked at the clock, and I start hearing cheers again. Definitely unfortunate situation. North High coming out playing with some intensity. Mitchell Stillion with the fumble recovery and scampered out. Return on about 40 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10, North High.
And partner, you always know, watching so many games, even if the offense knows the ball, it was down by contact, or they even know, but they went after it too. Like, you knew by the reactions of the players, that's live. That's a live football. There was not like this, hey, he was down.
Wow.
So how about this? Now, with one play left in the quarter, it's going to be the North High Stars with the football, and they're going to be going with the wind at their back after this play. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back on the Kern High Network, a change of events as we go into the second quarter. Back right after this.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead.
Second quarter action starts off with North High School. As we said, they pick up a fumble, and then they get the wind to their back to start the series off. Well, one play into it, so on a 2nd and 9, Shaw gets swallowed up pretty quickly. Nice job, good tackle, good hit out there. And that hit was laid on by Luis Rodriguez.
Well, North High definitely is a team that's going to give you everything they got. They're 1-3, but they've had some tough, close losses.
And, dude, let's not forget the COVID impact on their team as well, having game cancels at the last minute.
Right.
So,
3rd down 7, North.
Trips open set.
Great sound system. You hear the great Mark Heffernan, 3rd and 7. Shaw in trouble and hit hard and knocked back for a loss, or really back up to the line of scrimmage. So, wow, he got hit hard.
You know, I guess Foothill heard what we said about tackling by numbers as well, because it was about 4 or 5 guys to the ball there. 4th and 8. You know, and other than that huge power play from North High, this has been a pretty tight, penalty-riddled first half. We'll see if Foothill can take advantage and get something going on the offensive end.
It shows punt, but at this part of the football field, you never know. And with the wind behind them, They finally get their 11th man out there. That will help. This ball, if it is any contact whatsoever with his foot, it's going to go in the end zone. A wobbler gives a chance. Oh, North High could get it if they do it. Oh, man. And the coaching staff was kind of wondering, hey, he had a beat on the ball. He could have put that down at the 3-yard line. I thought it was going to be like a pass.
Is it just me, or does it seem like he wasn't putting any effort towards trying to catch the football?
Well, the coaching staff down to our right, they're flummoxed and exacerbated because they thought it was going to be a perfect opportunity to almost like catch a pass, because the return man from Foothill just kind of backed away, and that ball was wobbling and could have been caught for like a 2-yard line down, but it just kind of wobbled into the end zone. So a mistake there. North High could have pinned the Trojans back on their 2-yard line. So be that as it may, here come the Trojans.
You know, sometimes you have players out there that are just going through the motions, and that's why they end up on the sideline. You're out there as a gunner. You have an opportunity to pin a team inside the 3-yard line.
He was perfectly positioned.
And he kind of slowed up on it, and now you give a team that's averaging 300 yards per game on the ground, 1st and 10 from the 20, and now it's 2nd and 6.
That's a good point, Kenny.
24-25 for the Trojans. 2nd down and 6, Foothill.
Ball is at the 24-yard line. Second and 6.
Foothill only averages about 30 to 40 passing yards per game, so don't expect them to throw it a lot.
They don't. Monji hands the ball off to Deloney again. He crushes it forward about 4 yards. But he's met by Kason Rush. 2 big kids hit each other. Brings up a 3rd and a long 2. And I say long because, well, they're actually 3rd and 2. I say long because if they don't get this, it's going to force their hand with this wind coming right in their face to make a tough decision. Can they pick it up? Oh, they get the 1st down, and fortunate, Monji was tripping. He was falling down, and he put the ball in the hands of Deloney, and Deloney falls forward for a 1st down after being hit. So it's 1st and 10. The Trojans will keep it alive.
Yeah, and Deloney gets up limping a bit. You know, for a defender, when you see a guy his size and magnitude coming at you, you're going at those legs, and I think that's the penalty there when you're about 230 at least. 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
Coach Deckard, Brandon, first name, trying to get to 6-0. Sweep out here to this near side. Who's it going to be this time? It is Reynolds, and Reynolds cuts back up and gets to about the 37-yard line. So a strong run by Tyson Reynolds. He lowered the boom too, and he was hit pretty well out there by Mario Gonzalez, Janreka Mappa, and Kason Rush.
Great job by Tyson getting that foot in the ground and getting upfield as he got to the sideline. Most running backs would just go ahead and get out of bounds because they're scared and don't want to get hit. He actually put that foot in the ground and got about 7. Amazing job.
2nd and 4, ball's on a 38-yard line. Trying to get to midfield against this stingy North High defense. 7.5 left in the half. Wants to throw. He better get rid of it. Ball goes up into the wind, and it's a race for it. No, actually probably should have been intercepted by Max Partain. He became the receiver on that. It was running the route. He was running the route to the edge and almost picked it off.
Amazing job by the defensive back playing the ball too often as Maxwell Partain gets out there and covers the guy. Guys lose sight of the ball and panic and start grabbing. If you play the ball, you actually have an opportunity to create the turnover. 3rd and short for Foothill.
Monji behind center. They go to the obvious choice, the big fella, and he gets just enough. It was 3rd and 4, and he got 3rd and 4 and an inch. But he lowered the shoulder, and he went one-on-one with Mario Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is one tough customer, not the biggest guy in the field, but we saw him at Arvin lay some big hits and take some big hits, put a couple big hits in Gallegos. First down, Trojans just chewing up some clock. We're below 7 minutes to go here in this half already.
Yeah, and the Stars are in that bare front. They got about 5 linemen down.
And they bring them all expecting a run. It's a pitch out to the left side. Sandoval trying to get outside Sandoval. And two really, really good football teams here. I like them both, Kenny. They're both aggressive, and you got a North High defense under Decker that's just not letting them get too much. You got a speedy, talented Foothill offense and some big running backs, and nice matchup tonight.
Absolutely. And North High is a team that's coming off a loss to a 5-1 Highland team. They're 1-4, or 1-3, I should say, but they're not a 1-3 team. They actually have a lot of potential to do great things. They just haven't been able to finish games.
Great opportunity tonight on the Kern High Network. The whole county watching the only game that we've got on. End around.
Nice move.
Oh, even better
tackle.
defense. Even better defense. That was a really nifty move, we thought for a second, but Mappa making the hit, and oh no, for the North High Stars, it's Kason Rush.
Oh, that's a huge blow to the defense, and it looks like he's getting up on his own power. Definitely a guy that you need if you want to continue to be successful. But we got a timeout on the field. 5:50 remaining to play in the second quarter, and like VP said, this game is flying by in the first half. 3rd and short for the Trojans.
Did you guys bring me a sweatshirt?
I got a little sweatshirt for you. It's a little nippy. But you got to love it, man. We've had some hot summers, no rain. It hasn't rained in about
10 years.
6 months. I mean, for you guys in the farming industry, man, I know that drives you crazy. 3rd and short for the Trojans.
One way of putting it. 3rd and 3, ball's inside North Territory. They're going to go with their big fella, and he delivers.
Oh.
And more. Deloney drops the shoulder on a couple of North High Stars, and that's your go-to guy right there. That's no question about it. And then you have a speedy young man like Tyson Reynolds. That's a 1-2 punch to one of their 5-0.
Absolutely. One thing I like about the design from Coach Deckard is that he takes that wing back and acts like he's motioning him over.
You're right.
And motions him back. And he gets that leverage on that defensive end that creates that opportunity. Genius design in the run game. Those 6 yards add up.
Under 5 minutes to go here in the half. 1st and 10, Foothill.
Double reverse.
They tried a double reverse this time, and these reverses aren't working well. And that was Reynolds that was hit hard, really hard. That time he was popped by Tredarius Jones, and then an unnamed jersey number 15. I'm going to have to find out who that is from our coaching staff over there at North.
VP, that was very dangerous. That double reverse in that tight mesh window.
Not a lot of room.
Just see a fumble happening in that occurrence. 2nd and long for the Trojans.
Lost a few there. It's 12 yards specifically, they say. Raphael Mange, the quarterback. And that's going to be a movement, I think, on Reynolds. I think the way that wing tee is set up, there's still some rules, still some guidelines, and it looked as though Reynolds might have just pulled the trigger a little early in his motion. Or maybe not. He might have had the North High Stars a little excited up on that line. So how's that?
It's unusual as you think that the play would continue based on it happening at the snap, but nonetheless, 5 yards for the Foothill Trojans, 2nd and 6.
Monge, trap inside. They put it in the hands of Sandoval. Not much there.
Beautiful vision on that call, VP, as they pull that right guard left to lead him to that 27 hole for that counter trap. One of the plays that made a great team in the 90s go about 30-1.
Oh, who played on that team?
There's a few guys. 2 of them in the building.
3rd and 6.
If you're Foothill, you definitely want to get something out of this drive. 3 minutes remaining to play in the half. Best field position of the game so far.
And ironically, the only score was going into this win, and now they are too. They give it to Deloney. Deloney cuts back upfield. What a nice play. Deloney tackled at the 30-yard line. The tackle made by Mappa. If it wasn't, it would have been a touchdown.
Young football players, if you play running back and you want to go outside and you love the sweep, what the sweep does is gets flow going. As soon as you put that foot back into the ground and go the opposite direction, you can have at least 1 to 2 people to beat on your way to the promised land. Great job by that young man getting his foot in the ground and turning that into a first down game.
Big first down. Trojans. Short pitch again over to Reynolds, and then another really nice play, and again, it's Mappa. I'll tell you what, Mappa, John Recca Mappa is, goodness, that young man likes to hit.
Oh, yeah, he had some hit of the week candidate hits in that game a few weeks ago, but he's already upward of about 6 tackles in his first half.
First name is Jan, separated into Recca, Jan Recca Mappa. And number 7 is his jersey number, and he's not the biggest young man out there, but he likes contact.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight, the size of the fight in the dog. Or the Trojan, or the Star.
Manji in trouble, floats it up there, and
a
lot of great effort to try to make a play, and it would have been close to the first down, and the quickest guy out there to get it, of course, Reynolds, but I'm telling you, everybody, no joke with that wind.
Yeah, it's very windy. That flag hasn't stopped yet. And like we said, Foothill doesn't pass a lot. They do most of it out of the play action.
1:35 left in the first half, 3rd and 10. Ball is on the North High 29. Trojans less than 30 yards away from tying this thing up.
Third and 10.
They try it again. Can he get outside this time? This time he does cut up. Reynolds gets to the 21-yard line. Oh! The young man goes down on his sidelines. Some of the VIPs down there, former players, former coaches.
Might want to scoot those lawn chairs back a little bit.
Hey, look, with all this great renovation, they've got some beautiful spots down there, so they're trying to take advantage of it, but nobody's sitting in them.
Well, I saw one game they had the great Ned Permenter down there sitting in those.
No longer. Ned's not down there. Timeout taken. With 65 seconds. I think it's a timeout, or the officials are stopping the clock. They wanted to add 11 seconds to it, so it's 1:16 remaining in this first half.
And this is 4th down. 4th and 1. They have 4th and 10 on the board.
They went for a hard count, and again, they pick up the first down with who else? Kalen Deloney, the go-to man.
Absolutely. It's not a fan-friendly type of offense, but it's very effective if you can avoid turning the football over. And they've been moving the chains 3 yards in a cloud of dust for Deloney. That clock is ticking, though, so they're going to have to pick up the pace.
Under a minute to go in the half. Manji wants to throw.
Oh, wide open.
Oh, had a man open, throws it up, and it's a...
he dropped it.
You got to be kidding me. He had 2 wide open receivers. 2 wide open receivers, and unfortunately, and man, you hate to do it. You hate to even mention the young man's name because these young guys, they don't want to be bummed out all night. But looked like that was heading towards Andrew Rios, and that was a touchdown.
You know, sometimes you can be too wide open, and I think that's exactly what happened to him. He was so wide open, ball came late, boom, off of his chest, and he's going to have a bruise in the morning.
Well, and interestingly enough, there were 2 guys wide open. So a blown coverage by the Stars, and they want to talk it over as well. Both teams want to talk it over because now if you're Coach Decker, you're thinking, well, we had that one, And they saw that, so they're over there on the other sidelines, and Coach Bolin is like saying, fellas, that can't happen again. So it'll be interesting to see here with 46 seconds. And the Stars only have one more timeout, and Trojans have 3 if they need them. So they come out of the huddle, and what's said here, Kenny?
Now this is the pistol doubles formation, something foreign. Look how tight those safeties are.
And they give it to the big fella. They try to stretch out that line of scrimmage, and he's not
still
down
going.
yet.
He's still going, ladies and gentlemen. Woo. Talk about yards after contact. He got hit at the 10-yard line, and Deloney just kept pounding, chopping the feet, ends up inside the 5-yard line, and it's a timeout, Trojans.
So the drop pass in the end zone, and Coach Deckard said, well, let's remedy that with just giving it to our main workhorse, and he goes over and gets congratulations from Brian Jacinto, one of his linemen, number 56, went over and said, attaboy, big dog, attaboy.
You know, we looked at numbers before the contest tonight, and we see Deloney is the majority of the offense for Foothill. But one of the things I like out of Coach Decker's staff, he has sprinkled in some Tyson Reynolds. He has sprinkled in some play-action pass. Should have been a touchdown catch to the young man that dropped it. They're not a one-dimensional offense, even though stats may say otherwise. I'm very impressed with the balance out of Foothill, even though they haven't scored yet.
Well, it's 1st and goal from the 4-yard line, 36 seconds remaining here in the half. The North High Stars lead by 6. They scored in the first quarter and then a missed PAT. The wind got a hold of a PAT, actually, and pushed it left. So that could always be a storyline when there's a missed PAT. But here we go, out of the second timeout.
You know, I had some classic battles versus Foothill and versus North, but I always remember this rivalry being very valid. And this is a good football game that we have as they go to pistol double set.
They stretch it out on the audible, and they keep it himself. Manji trying to get in, he does.
Oh, nice.
Touchdown. Rafael Manji fakes the handoff to Kalen Deloney, and there was so much traffic in there, it was so crowded, but the diminutive, thin-framed quarterback able to maneuver around that maze of North High Stars, and he just jabs it in there. Touchdown, Trojans.
Man, RPO, fake the dive, and he follows his big man. He almost tap danced on
he looked good. He looked good. That was nice, and he surprised everybody. Everybody. I don't think anyone at North High thought it would be the quarterback.
You know, it goes to the point that we reiterated earlier. Very balanced offensive attack, and now he keeps it here. Oh, he actually gives it to the back, and that's going to be Antonio Salazar with the touchdown. Amazing job, and there it is, another name adding on to points. You know, it's not a one-dimensional team. Great job by Foothill, and they take the 8-6 lead.
Didn't even want to mess with the wind, and they stay on the ground. So how's this? For the first 23 minutes and 29 seconds, it's been Tyson Reynolds, Kalen Deloney, Tyson Reynolds, Kalen Deloney, Tyson Reynolds, Kalen Deloney, and then Rafael Manji runs it in, and then Salazar gets the handoff for the two-point conversion. Haven't called either one of those names really in any way other than, you know, Manji gets the QB calls, but just shows you what Brandon Deckard's thinking, like, hey, we're going to do what we have to do to mix things up here and change some things around. That was nice, and that's a 5-0 team still pulling out stuff out of the briefcase.
Absolutely. I'm very impressed with the offense. I'm a defensive guy, defensive coach. My frat brother's defensive coordinator.
You really? I didn't know that.
I'm looking for defensive football all day. But to see the offense of Foothill stick to their guns, not panic, stay balanced with some pass and run to get that tie game, to tie it up and then go above with that conversion is very impressive. And that's why you end up 5-0. So the Trojans will kick off. And they're not going to kick it deep. Oh, and that's a weird one. It's still, nearly in bounds and almost stayed. But that's going to be out of bounds at the 45. That was maybe a half a second from being recovered by Foothill. But great job. Well, I won't say a great job because that is some amazing field position with 31 seconds left. But I will say that the North Stars have some talent back there deep. And you don't want to kick it back there and give up a kick return to the house right before the half. So let's see if this field position pays off.
Sorry to bail on you for a minute, but I wanted to catch one of those coaches going down the hatch. Number 15 for the North High Stars, who we've called a couple of times, is actually Jonathan Williams. I want to make sure everybody knows that's Jonathan Williams. He's very much involved in this football team on both sides of the ball and special teams, so we don't want to have a young man's name not being called. Number 15, North, Jonathan Williams.
And his name wasn't on the roster 2 weeks ago. Somebody get this man's name on the roster.
Man, talk about being in the doghouse. Talk about being in trouble. All right, here we go. 1st and 10, 31 seconds. North High does have the wind at their back. And Markai Shaw, and a timeout's going to be called, and it's going to be, if it's by North, it's their last one. So with half a minute left in this first half, an 8-6 football game, a nice one. The Trojans at home welcoming in the North High Stars. This is league play. And North, we've talked about it a few times. We've kind of beaten it into the ground that they are better than their record shows. With some COVID implications there and having to have some games canceled and just a tough time for them on a couple of different levels. They're 1-3, but we know they're better than that. Foothill 5-0, and they're in one right now. This is a serious game for them. 2-point lead, half a minute left.
No, I'm very impressed with both teams, but we've seen North in this position before. You play a great first quarter, and then you start kind of giving up momentum and allowing the other team to get back in it. Let's see if they have an opportunity to capitalize with this great field position. With 30 seconds.
Shaw, QB. They might try to reverse again. They do. It's a pitch.
Oh, he might be out of there, VP.
Mappa shoved out of bounds inside Foothill territory. And about the 49-yard line. So we're looking at 24 seconds, and boy, this half is not over.
Right, and Mappa showing some of that speed that we talked about and the reason why they didn't kick it deep. That was a great play design on that reverse. Doing something safe to where you're not putting the ball in the air, and if it doesn't work out, you just run the clock out. But, hey, you get the first down, live to fight another day, 1st and 10.
From behind, they get him.
Goodness.
They get him from behind. Markai Shaw took off, but they tracked him down, and, boy, that's a really nice hustle play out there by Jose Del Valle, number 65. He came all the way around the backside and caught the speedy and strong Markai Shaw.
Yeah, and Shaw, if he was
and
a
they ran out of
back,
time. That was
oh
it.
My goodness.
Coaches are going crazy. They didn't have any more timeouts, and the North High School Stars were just kind of walking around, didn't get back to the huddle, didn't get to the line, didn't get the play call, and the coaches were not pleased. But we're pleased with a really nice football game here. It's 8-6. Foothill High School up by 2. We will take a break, and we will show you the marching band, and we'll take a break and be back with the third quarter.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit.
After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put it together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, it's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up, watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Plord, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
I was shearing my lamb for fair. I have 2 lambs. Taking care of animals is you feed them twice a day, make sure they have water, walk them, make sure they're ready for fair.
Vet science is the first year before you can actually go into animal science, and it's a lot of like hands-on with the different animals, and you get to learn different things such as giving shots, castrating, all that fun stuff. For me, wanting to be a vet when I'm older, it prepares me. All the stuff that I'm learning in ag is definitely going to help me.
I'm in ag communications. Anything that you see on the Facebook page is what we do, and pictures, and we do all the posters that are around campus, anything that just promotes ag.
Our students are all part of the FFA organization, and through that we have a chapter officer team. We do monthly chapter meetings because we're trying to get them involved outside of class so they can find something that they're interested in, and they need something that's going to hook them so that they're ready for life after high school.
In animal care, the students learn a variety of things, whether it's tools or terms. In the veterinary field, they learn about the skeletal systems, the animal nutrition, the housing, how to properly care for them. They also have the opportunity in the spring to actually go work at a veterinary hospital or at an animal shelter or a grooming salon.
Animal restraint, weight and temperature, pulse, respiration, all of that I learned here.
They take a state certified test, and if they pass, they become a certified vet assistant right out of high school.
It's always hands-on, and so I think that's what really helps us, is that we're not just getting it from a textbook, we're actually doing these things, and we're actually practicing these things that we'll be doing in our future careers.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit.
After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had a chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
Welcome back to Kern High Network Football. Vance Palm and Kenny Calvin live at Foothill High School as the Foothill Trojans have an 8-6 lead over the North Stars. Great game with two classic running backs that have a lot of potential. We'll see how things pan out for North High in the second half. Just finished spending the halftime with my team captain, Principal Ryan Guyvett. Want to thank him for coming up and talking about the beautiful growth of Foothill High School in his first year as principal. You know, he was my team captain as a driller. He was my team captain as a renegade. And Foothill parents, you have a quality individual leading your kids as this kickoff is taken at the 10 and down at the 26-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans. You know, the first half was pretty much a game filled with the one turnover that put North High in a position to get their first offensive touchdown. Foothill ended up coming back, playing some quality defense, getting some stops, and ended up taking advantage of some great field position and got their touchdown from Victor Manji on the keeper.
Sorry, buddy, I went downstairs, got caught up. I was talking to Lynch Mob, and he gave me some stats, and Mark Heffernan, and just the camaraderie down there. I'll give you some stats here in a minute. Go ahead and call it.
Yeah, no, you guys got the family reunion going down there, and we got a toss sweep going here, and he has nice blocking. And that's going to be a 7-yard gain on a 27 sweep by Deloney.
Yeah, here's some numbers for you. Foothill, Deloney, 12 carries, 73 yards. Foothill, 27 plays for 120 yards. 0 for 3 in the passing game. 0 for 3 in the passing game. North High, 180 yards on 9 runs, 14 running plays, 2 pass plays for a total of 126 yards. And what a
great
play.
Tackle.
What a tackle. Huh,
Guess
wonder if we've called his name a few times. Mappa.
Guess who, ladies and gentlemen? Mappa. Doing it on both sides of the football. He had the reverse right before the end of the half for about 20 yards, and he has about maybe 8 tackles already.
I should have asked Steve that. Started talking about BC Athletics inaugural Hall of Fame night with Steve Lynch, and I got caught up and didn't ask him about how many tackles Mappa has. 3rd and 5, balls at their own 30-yard line. We're just underway here in the second half. Foothill going right to left. Now the wind is coming from behind our back, coming from the northeast. And Reynolds trying to get out, and that's going to be a holding call. Probably will be declined anyway because there was really no gain on the play. It'll be 4th and 5 without the penalty. And it's a holding call.
Yeah, and Foothill's doing a good job getting to the edge, but they're continuing to have issues on the offensive line, getting some huge runs called back. And it would have been 4th and 5, and they're taking that penalty,
right,
which is very confusing.
I thought they would decline it and make them punt, but they knock them way back. And now the wind is, like I said, now the wind is just coming like right off over the top of the mountains from like Kern River, right at our back, shooting straight at Highway 58. So now it's a crosswind. Foothill left to right, the wind would blow. And on a 3rd and forever, they put it in the hands of Deloney, and he's drugged down from behind. And that's a really nice play out there, and that is Jonathan Williams.
Great play by North High, getting bailed out. And taking advantage of that field position.
Much smarter decision than I would have made, because now Map is standing at the 50, waiting for this punt. And now, like I said, the wind is going from the bottom of your screen to the top of your screen. Here's the punt. Let's see what happens. By the way, we have 2 left-footed punters tonight. You don't see that every night. And perfect. It rolled right down to where Mappa was standing, 43-yard line. So now it will be the North High offense coming in here in the third quarter. The score is 8-6. Foothill's up by 2. I want to say thanks to the principal. Ryan Gavitt come up, said hi to us. Jody Schupert, the assistant principal. Leanne Slayton, another assistant principal. Mike Bizad, athletic director. Thank you to everybody here at Foothill High School. Thank you to Valley Strong. Thank you to all of our superintendents in the Kern High School District, and our main man, Stan Green, watching tonight. Stan, thank you for this opportunity for Kenny and I and Julian and our whole crew.
Absolutely.
Part of the fun of the beginning of the week is when we start getting the emails. Where we're going to be, what we're going to do. Tomorrow night, we'll let you know in a second. North High School starts off on a run, and they give it to Jonathan Williams.
We haven't heard Jonathan Williams' name a lot, but coming downhill on that fullback dive, on that veer option dive, I should say, definitely don't want to tackle him either. It's going to be second and about 3 for the North Stars, and North is one of those teams that if they get in the rhythm with the run game, they can hurt you in the passing game, as they have Wallace Foreman out there, and right away, they go right back to the ground. And we have a Foothill Trojan. Looks like he is hurt.
Well, he took on Jonathan Williams, and that's never fun. But that's going to be Eric Polanco. And Polanco trying to get off the field, try to get up and walk it off, but he just kept going back down again. So Polanco, I apologize, Polanco.
Well, we talked about how that back finished off that run. That's a lot of weight coming down on you at the end. And it looks like he got the worst of that.
Well, Jonathan Williams in our program had number 20 in our lineup, but it's number 15 for sure. So big Jonathan Williams, you connect him with Markai Shaw, and all of a sudden you got a 1-2 punch, just like the Trojans have in Tyson Reynolds and Kalen Deloney. So nice ground game out there, and that's understating it because neither team is really putting the ball up in the air, and it looks like he's going to be okay. That's great to see. Boy, he's up quickly and just going to maybe a cramp. I don't know, but he's hopping off, and
it definitely looks a lot better than we thought it was going to be at the end of that run. And he's walking off on his own power, saying he doesn't want any help.
So Polanco, now he's jogging a little bit. He looks like he'll be all right. Okay, 1st and 10, North at the Foothill 44-yard line. 3 backs back there. Oh, movement, and they're going to throw the flag. And Jonathan Williams got a little happy, and he let everybody know it was on him. Before the official even threw the flag, he was tapping his chest, saying, "That's me, that's me, that's me." I think he was getting the football with 2 backs in front of him to block, Kenny.
Yeah, North is one of those teams, like I said, they need to avoid these plays that put them behind the chains because they're not a great passing team. And Foothill's not a defense that's going to give you a lot of time to pass it either.
Crazy. This wind has completely changed directions. Bennett in the shotgun. This time, a trap inside comes right to us. Mario Gonzalez with the carry. So now the wind has gone from coming from the northwest in Coalinga, from now coming from Isabella, shooting straight across the valley.
Yeah, beautiful scenery here at Foothill High School. We got an 8-6 football game, great football game against 2 strong running teams. Hopefully they can avoid the penalties in the second half.
Bennett tosses out to Gonzalez, but man, you talk about some quick action right there, and that is Andrew Rios. And Rios, he wants to make up for that drop touchdown, so he's running guys down from 40 yards away. What a great athlete. Man, that was quick.
Absolutely. Great pursuit. Sideline to sideline, and now it's going to be 3rd and 15. And just like we said, you go 1st and 5 on the first play, but then you have the penalty, backs you up, and now you're at 3rd and 15 because you're behind on the sticks. You have to avoid the small penalties that destroy the momentum. Trips open set for North High.
Under 7 minutes in the third quarter. Now it's 3rd and 15. Kenny just mentioned it, putting themselves in a hole here. The ball goes up, it's tossed, and it is caught. What a great catch at the 40-yard line. He was in some serious traffic, man. Bennett connects out there with Mappa, and that just snuck by the outstretched hands of Andrew Rios. Man, that got in there somehow.
Absolutely, and guess who? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tired of us hearing Mappa, you might want to turn the channel because this kid's getting it in on both sides of the football. Just made a great catch. And though it's not a first down, it gives them an opportunity to flip the field from a field position standpoint, 4th and 6.
That flag now just changed direction, so we'll see how this punt gets affected by Kenny. Julian, is he ready to make an Arctic mountain climb? He's ready for some cold weather.
Well, you know how it is in Bakersfield. Either it's too hot or too cold.
4th and 7. And we have, maybe.
I believe it may be a delay of game unless we saw the
false
tackle.
start. It's going to be false start on the Stars, and so now
False start against North.
the power runner Jonathan Williams is back to punt.
And you're right back behind the sticks, as we stated.
And you're right, Kenny. It took a long time to snap. Well, they never snapped it. It took a long time to get that ball snapped. And North High just got antsy. Now it's 4th and 12, and they go hard count. Nobody jumps. And what's the flag here?
It's going to have to be false start again.
And the North High coaching staff is saying, we didn't see anybody jump. We thought we did it perfectly. And with a 4th and 12, I don't know that a hard count's really going to do much.
Thank you very much, VP. I like to lay off the coach's decision making, but why are you going a hard count on 4th and 12 when you just had a false start? Punt the football.
Possibly that would be the move here. High snap, able to get it. Look out, he's in trouble. He had to just run. It was not a design fake punt. He was in trouble and knew it was going to get blocked.
Yes,
so
he did.
Jonathan Williams knew the punt was going to get blocked, and he just took off and hoped for the best. But, wow, now you look at those 2 false starts, and that comes back to bite him because now it's 1st and 10 Foothill at the North High 46-yard line. And, boy, oh, boy.
VP, you had Tyson Reynolds, the fastest player on the field, coming off the edge, and he had no chance to even try to punt that. So great decision to try to get out, but what you would have liked him see him do is try that rugby kick as you're rolling around. Nonetheless, 1st and 10 Foothill, heading east.
Exactly 5 to go in the third quarter. Oh, they almost got him on the handoff, but they didn't. So now you've got these safeties trying to bring down Deloney, and he's still going. It's like Earl Campbell. They're trying to bring him down. They cannot. So they took a chance and tried to get him behind the line of scrimmage, and what that did was leave a gentleman like Deloney out there with some small safeties trying to bring him down.
One of my favorite things to do is highlight greats of the past. I talked about backs that he reminded me of from the pro level. I'm going to talk about a Foothill back that he reminded me of on that carry, who was also a Renegade teammate of mine, Terrence Houston. Terrence Houston was one of the most unstoppable backs and went crazy as a Foothill running back his high school senior year in 1995.
Pitch around the corner, and there is Reynolds to the 25-yard line.
No, so I'll touch on that 95 Foothill team because I was a freshman at BC after I left, but they had a phenomenal backfield. They had Terrence Houston, who ended up playing safety for the Renegades and earning a Division I scholarship. Phillip Brown, who was also a running back in that backfield, ended up earning a full ride scholarship to Arizona State. And Joey Porter was also a back in that backfield that earned a Division I scholarship. You had 3 running backs on Foothill's team in that 1995 senior year.
Goodness.
That went Division I.
Goodness.
Show me another team that had 3 Division I running backs in the backfield at the same time.
Can't think of it. 3.5 remaining in this third quarter. Over here to the near side. And slipping one tackle and getting brought down at another. So not a bad run by Sandoval.
And we have a flag inside, but I was just about to give some credit to big number 55 on the offensive line for Foothill. He's out there 20 yards down the field blocking DBs, and that's what you need when you're going to be successful running the football, and that's probably why they're averaging 300 yards a game on the ground.
The penalty will be against the Trojans, and it is a holding call.
Shout out to Adrian Garrido, that lineman out there leading the way. He's the left tackle, ladies and gentlemen, and he's out there putting in work for the Foothill Trojans.
Under 3 to go here in this third quarter. 8-6, Foothill up 2, and they are trying to get to the end zone 35 yards away. They give it to the big fella. Oh, no, a great fake. He got me, too, Manji. Don't forget, they scored a touchdown on the play, very similar to that.
You know, I can't talk about number 55s without talking about some North Stars. Great number 55 for the North Stars, my linebacker Joey Mayo, another Division I product out of North High. You know, I love reflecting on the history of these programs as we cover these games, because in most instances, some of those people have kids that are on the field. So we'll try to figure out whose son's out there tonight.
Bloodline football.
Great block by Tyson Reynolds, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, good hit.
Wow.
A lot of contact, and Andrew Jefferson, AJ stood in there and took one.
Ooh, yeah, he gonna cry in the car, though. Wow. Talk about finishing a run. Deloney just runs through Jefferson, and he holds on for dear life. 4th and 5, maybe 6. We might see some passing opportunities out of Foothill, and I'll highlight some of my favorite Foothill receivers.
4th and 6. Manji ran the play in. He was over on the sidelines for a second, so he was able to talk to his coaching staff. It was a big play, 4th and 6. They go to the air, has a man open, tosses it to him, and it might go over his head.
And he and he drops it
goodness,
again.
That was Eric Polanco, and he was banged up earlier. Don't forget, he was banged up a little earlier, but I actually thought the ball at first was going to Deloney. I thought it was going to Deloney, but it actually was going to Polanco. Either way, dropped the ball.
And VP, with that route combination, one thing I would like to see, they both ran corner routes. So they're in too much of proximity of each other. If you send that inside guy on the seam, he takes his defender away from that, and you may actually have a better opportunity to throw to that seam route or the corner as you separate the routes.
At first I thought it was going to Deloney.
Me too.
He had guys open early, and the wind kind of caught it, and Polanco just banged up, doggone it.
Yeah, great effort. Nonetheless, shotgun spread set for Bennett.
And now Bennett has options on both sides. What's he going to do with it? He goes to Mario Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets nothing, if not a loss. They're going to say right around this line of scrimmage. And we're going to get out of this third quarter here in 53 seconds, and time has been moving along here. Not a lot of passing plays, as Kenny said. 8-6 is the lead. Trojans up 2. A home field game tonight versus North. They could go to 6-0 with a win over a feisty, tough North team.
VP, one thing I love about watching this football game tonight is the camaraderie and sportsmanship that I'm seeing on both sides of the football. You got guys going after each other in the trenches until the whistle is blown, and they're helping each other up. I love seeing that.
Strong right side for Bennett. Looks, throws, and it's caught. Good pass.
Great tackle.
Sure was. Nice open field tackle out there by who else? Tyson Reynolds. He told Ken he was going to be the best.
Oh, yeah, I taught him a few of those DB skills and some of those one-on-one counseling sessions. When they stopped listening to me, you had to get creative. 3rd and 5.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. We'll take a break and step away from the mic for a moment, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter. Great game here. Trojans up 8-6 over North.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter, 8-6. Trojans up 2, but North has the ball. 3rd and 5. Crucial start to this fourth quarter. Bennett back there at number 8. They've been switching off quarterbacks. It's been Bennett most of the game now after they started with Shaw back there. Bennett drops back. Fires one over here to the near side. Caught. The defender, Reynolds, fell down. So a catch by Wallace Foreman, and he gets it up to the 45-yard line. So here comes North High School, and Reynolds lost his footing, and boy, that's all it took.
Yeah, it looks like his shoe came off. But ultimately, Wallace Foreman is a matchup nightmare. If North High can find a way to get some kind of protection, they go to this trips open set, and he's a matchup nightmare for a one-on-one corner who's under 5'9".
1st and 10, start of the fourth quarter. Ball is right below us at the 45-yard line. Bennett goes up high, gets it, great tackle. Well, Kenny and I said it at the same time, and again, so many talented kids on this North High School football team, and that was a nice hit out there by Will Zelayandia. Zelayandia with a nice hit.
Trips open set for the Stars. No safety in the middle of the field for Foothill, so if they get time, they're going to take a shot. And they're doing a little check with me on the sideline.
Exactly. His coaching staff up here seeing the same thing as Kenny's seeing. You've got Rios up tight, nobody there across the field. They throw it up, and so they had they saw what you saw, but they went to the sidelines with it instead of the middle of the football field.
Exactly, VP. You have the matchups that you want in the middle of the football field when you have no safety. The advantage isn't on the outside with the corners playing one-on-one when there's no safety in the middle of the field. But there was no time, a lot of pressure on the inside. But ultimately, if you're going to just throw it up, you could have just threw that football right down the middle of the hash to give your third receiver, which I'm calling the third guy from the slot, in on that seam route to give him an opportunity.
Special hello to JT out there listening in tonight. Big fan of Kern County High School football. Good evening, JT. 3rd and 10. Bennett stands exactly at the 50-yard line of the shotgun. Movement everywhere, flags all over the place. Foothill coaching staff able to help call that out, say, hey, refs, look at that.
Yeah, you go in that trips open set because you're trying to do a little bit of something different to get momentum going on the offense, but it's so hard to protect when you're spreading things out like that. And it seems like the defensive line of Foothill is intimidating the offensive line of North High. That's why we're getting these false start penalties. Remember, we had 2 before the half that led to them not taking advantage of some opportunities. So you got to wonder how that defensive line and that pressure that they're applying is affecting the psyche of that offensive line for the Stars.
3rd and 15.
Trips open.
Bennett drops straight back, flush out of the pocket. Now he's coming to the near sidelines. Flag on the play. Oh, almost a brutal hit.
Yeah.
But Tyson's able to get smart real fast and say nope. But flag on the play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and it's just too much pressure inside from that defensive line. Creating mismatches. Led by number 65. Gets some great pressure. 65 and 55 on the inside. Those 3 technique defensive tackles and defensive end putting in work, wreaking havoc.
10-15 remaining in this football game, well, the fourth quarter at least. Head coach Richie Bolin for the North High Stars trying to hang in there. They're down 8-6. Head coach Brandon Deckard over there speaking with the officials as the call was against the North High Stars. We're in the fourth quarter, and that's going to make it third and very, very long. 28, third and 28.
Yeah, and this fourth quarter action, 10 minutes left to play. And this is the type of game, one mistake can cost you everything.
Well, it should be third down. Okay, third and 29.
Now they
Carson
have that
Bennett.
safety back deep, VP.
Right, well, you can hear the Foothill crowd really getting into it. This Foothill crowd is really, really barking now. They want a sack. They want good field position. They want something. Bennett takes the snap, drops back, takes a look, fires, and it is caught. And unless he gets away from a ton of guys, and what was the whistle for?
Yeah, we got an early whistle.
Super
before
early whistle.
the hit. And that was a huge hit by that defensive back.
Evan Siffing caught it, broke one tackle, spun away, then got popped. But the whistles were blowing quite a bit.
Yeah, but hats off to this Foothill defense, finding a way to get themselves back into the football game after the huge run by Markai Shaw earlier. They haven't done much else since. And Foothill holding on to that 8-6 lead. Not a fan-friendly way of playing football, but it's definitely how you can end up 6-0.
Fourth and 23. Jonathan Williams with the punt. It's a wobbler. It's got some wind behind it. Let's see what kind of bounce it takes. And I think it's going to end up at about the 25-yard line. First and 10 for the Foothill Trojans. Tomorrow night, the public address announcer you hear below us, the great Mark Heffernan, will be calling the Southeast football game on the Kern High Network. Myself and Rick Van Horn will be calling the Stockton at BHS game, BHS homecoming, and the public address announcer for the homecoming for the Drillers will be none other than Kenny Calvin. Big man, where are you tomorrow? You're with us at BHS?
Well, it's a family reunion.
And then the great Kevin Willie will be at the Southeast game. And you can't go wrong with anybody. Whoever's at any game, you're talking about a big-time crew, whoever it is.
It's an honor to be a part of it, guys. Wing T set for Foothill, Manji under center. And they go with that ISO through the 26 hole. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he's not a fancy flash and dash runner, but he's getting 5 to 6 yards every time he touches the football, and that's why he averages 144 yards a game.
I'll take him. Polanco again just coming off just very gingerly on that left foot.
You know, I talked about Terrence Houston. I talked about Joey Porter. I talked about Phillip Brown. How about the man Rashawn Sheehy? Congratulations to Coach Sheehy, one of the greatest Trojans of all time.
I'm going to get down there early tomorrow and talk to him.
Can't wait to see him in action tomorrow. One of my best friends. I'm excited for him.
Reynolds trying to get to the outside. Flag on the play. Another flag late. Oh, this may be offsetting here. Holding during the play. Possibly a late hit at the end of the play. And Reynolds on the receiving end of that. Let's see what happens here. 7:54. Man, this game has flown by. It's a hold on the defense. I'm sorry, a hold against.
Tonight's game is being streamed live on the Kern High Network. Vance Palm and Kenny Calvin doing the play-by-play.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Tomorrow and also south and east. Doubleheader tomorrow on KHSD.
Mark Heffernan is turning into my favorite PA announcer. He's giving us about 10 shout-outs tonight.
I threatened him. On the way up, I threatened him, and I told I'd stick lynch mob on him. Mark and I go back a long, long way. What a great guy. 2nd and 19. And now the Trojans pushed back to the 15-yard line, Manji, and they give it to the big fella again, and that is Deloney again, about the 21, 22-yard line. So time will continue to tick pretty quickly if you're North High School, because you just know that Foothill's going to just keep smacking you in the mouth with this running game, and you've got to stop them and get that football back.
Man, Peasy would be proud seeing them play this type of football. You know, just continuing to try to find ways to move the chains. They had the penalty that set them back. Now they got 3rd and 15. I seriously doubt if we're going to see anything through the air, but they have ran that play-action pass with those corner routes. Let's see if they adjust those routes to get more spacing.
Well, and Kenny, this is a big play for North High defense. They need this football back right now. They sweep it out. Oh,
great
big
block
hit.
outside.
Big pops. Can he get the first down? Oh, they don't. He does not get it. How about that hustle from North High? A couple of big blocks out on the perimeter. But I can tell you this right now, the hustle of Kason Rush kept that from being a first down and causes the Foothill coaching staff to make a big decision here. He went out of bounds about 3 yards shy of the first down marker. So now it's 4th and 2. And it looks like Brandon Deckard's saying, oh, for a second, looked like he was going for it.
For a second, VP, I was like, boy.
Oh, they call a timeout, Kenny.
Man.
All right, let's take – well, hang on just one second, because I've forgotten a few times to thank everybody and make sure everybody at Foothill High School knows how grateful we are for everyone here. So, Ryan, the principal, thank you, Ryan. He came up here and said nice words to us tonight. Appreciate it. Jody Schubert, the assistant. And we've also got Leanne Slayton, the assistant principal. Dean is Stephanie Hall. Dean Amy Burdick. The athletic director, Mike Bizat, and the activities director, Jennifer West. So thank you, Ryan, for giving us all of that. You got more than I did. Appreciate it. And, of course, Valley Strong, you're the big sponsor, and you're the one that makes it possible for us to come up here and do this. We thank you so very much. And to all the superintendents of the Kern High School District and our main guy, Stan Green, thank you so very much. And just a pleasure to be able to come out on a Thursday night in this killer weather. I see Ryan down there with Leanne Slayton and another one of his administrative individuals. And the great Carrie Osep, Channel 23. What? Here it is. The big first down. Do they get it?
Oh, they got it, VP.
Oh, close.
Wow.
And they move the chains, not by much, though.
Wow.
Not by much. So Richie Bolin and his North High Stars were this close to getting that football back. But now new life for the Trojans, and the clock continues to tick. So now that clock is really racing downhill on ice skates if you are the North High fans, because you scored first and haven't seen it since.
Talk about the disrespect, the slap in the face. I'm on my own 35-yard line, and I'm about to go for it in the fourth quarter, and I'm only up 2 points. That takes some blazing cojones.
Oh, goodness. Reynolds trying to strip the ball out. Man, what a tough play out there. Reynolds had to hang on to it as Mario Gonzalez jumped him and then tried to rip the football out. And so now North High School, the defense, they've been out there a long time, Kenny, and they're starting to feel the urgency here. They need to create a turnover.
Yeah, because they've done a good job for the most part keeping the offense of Foothill contained, but they're not doing enough to try to create those turnovers, and they're running out of time. This is a Foothill team that, hey, they went for it because they knew if we can get this first down, we can chop about another 4 minutes off this clock.
You hope. 5:20. They give it to the big fella again, and he's hit hard, and they're trying to strip him again. So a big tackle up there by Peyton Webb. We call Peyton's number a few times on that Arvin night. So Peyton goes in, big number 55.
You know, I'm always, as a former coach and college recruiter, I would go to high school games. I say this every week. I'm always interested to find the fight in the guys who haven't given up no matter what is on the scoreboard and on the clock. This defensive line of North High is still playing some quality football.
Absolutely.
3rd and 7 for the Trojans.
4:37 remaining. A handoff to the big fella. He wants to get outside, but he can't. Tried to put the stiff arm up, but Mappa Had to remind him, you know who I am?
Great job by Mappa, not being intimidated by the big guy, finding a way to just grab something. One of the things I've always told my defensive backs, grab cloth and hold on. No matter how big a guy is, he don't want to carry you. Hold on. And that's exactly what Mappa did. That's a huge tackle.
And Mappa's, he's down low. He just kind of went under it. But here we go, Kenny. It's 4th and 3. Well, they try to do it again. And I think, first of all, Coach Decker's going to let this clock go down and then call a timeout. I think he's going to let it just run as far as he can and then call it. And he did. A timeout taken by head coach Brandon Decker. 3:45. It stops at 3:45. Here in the fourth quarter, they're up 2. They went for it a few minutes ago. Wasn't this far. It was a little closer. This is 4th and a long 3. Kind of those 3 plus 11 inches almost. This is a long 3, so not able to make a quick decision on this. They call a timeout. Again, tomorrow night, Mark Heffernan will be calling the East-South game with Kevin Willey, myself, Rick Van Horn, and the man to my right, Julian Wilson. Julian, you need to work out more. You need to do just a little. You did do more curls. Just a bit. Were you going to tell me something? Yeah. Oh, okay. So he's. I'll go. Hey, look. I'll. If you want me to go to the gym with you, I will. Do they have cheeseburgers there? So Julian, myself, and Rick Van Horn will be up top calling the game. Kenny below will be the PA announcer for homecoming. That's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that night tomorrow night. Big football game. Stockdale at BHS. Great matchup. A lot of storylines. How about this one? 4th and 3. Manji behind center. Backs it up, stretches everything out. All that does is tell me that Deloney's got more vision, more options here, and they give it to him, and what does he do? And
he doesn't get it. Great stop by North High.
The Stars stop him well short. I mean, well short. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Foothill 44-yard line. So Deloney hit hard by 2 of the North Stars, and it's Andon Sampson and who else? Kason Rush.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Well, they stretched that thing out. We have our T-shirt again with us tonight. So we will have player of the game. Kern High Network will give out the T-shirt player of the game. And last week we got down to the last couple minutes before we made the decision. That's going to be the same thing here too. This will be a end of the game decision, I'm sure. So now here we go. Carson Bennett in the shotgun. Looks like Foothill might bring a bunch at him. And what do? They give it to Evan Siffing.
It's a nice gain on the power, about 7 yards, maybe 6. 3:23 remaining to play. North with it. Amazing defensive stance, and they're right where they need to be.
Bennett hands the ball off, and it's going to be Mario Gonzalez. And at first I thought they got him from behind, and he ends up getting the first down. I mean, we have 3 Trojans down, 3 of them on the thing. Well, 2 of them got up, but we still have 1 more, and he is writhing in pain and pounding on the grass. So we've got a young man that is down. 3:10 remaining in this fourth quarter, and the way that the math would shape up, it would take something pretty extraordinary for us to go to overtime. It would take a safety by the North High Stars. They would have to catch the Trojans and get them by 2 to go to OT. So this is the 3:10 left is in this fourth quarter, and this young man is down for a moment. Kenny will have to be thinking very closely about the Kern High Network player of the game. Last week, gave it out to a young man by the last name of Greer, and that was at Frontier. What an unbelievable game that was. I mean, Stockdale had the black hole. The whole stands was rocking. Raucous night for homecoming. It was packed. Couldn't get in. Traffic, parking lot everywhere. People trying to get into that game. And the Frontier crowd kept streaming in well into the second quarter. So by halftime, that place was jam-packed. And it was a great game. And Stockdale still smarting from it probably and can't wait to get over to Griffith Field tomorrow night. But we did give out our first T-shirt of the game of the season because we're in league play now. So league play, Kenny, brings us to making a decision about a T-shirt. So with an 8-6 game, we only have 3 minutes and 10 seconds to kind of figure out what we're going to do here.
You know, I think for myself, this game has been dominated in the trenches.
Yeah.
Both offensive and defensive lines of both teams have played quality football and have minimized the star power of the big backs on both sides after the first quarter.
But for those people that don't listen to all of our Renegade games, where my friend Kenneth Calvin at the Red Shield Award tries to give it out to the whole offensive line, or he tries to give it to the whole defensive backfield, or he tries to give it to 7 guys. And it's great to see this young man up. Good.
Too.
And he has been. That's Jose Del Valle. Good to see him up. He's the big fella. This T-shirt goes on one dude, Kenny.
Yeah, so, Jose was actually probably my lead candidate so far. He's been doing some great work from the tackle position and also from the defensive line position. So I got my eyes on a lineman right now in the interior, but we still have 3:09 to play.
Do. They started the clock. The Stars run onto the field from the sidelines. It's 1st and 10. We're exactly at the 3-minute mark. Bennett takes a snap, looks, throws one out, floats one out, and it is
nearly caught.
The coaching staff thought the Trojans were all over their guy, Wallace Foreman. They thought it was a pass interference. The ball was floated up perfectly. What a great call from the sidelines. Carson Bennett knew he had the wind, so he throws it up and let it float for a minute. That was almost caught.
Let's take them back about 9 minutes ago. I said if they give themselves an opportunity with that matchup on the seam, all you have to do is throw it up and give your guy an opportunity. Foothill was smart, though. They had 3 guys on them. 2nd and 10.
Bennett. They stay inside. Look out, look out, look out. Mario Gonzalez. They read that like a book. And he was swallowed up, and that's a big loss. And now we have a timeout, and that's going to be taken by Richie Bolin. He wants to talk things over here. 2:39, a big 3rd down and 13 with a Foothill defense that has a chance to kind of catch their breath here and see what they're going to do. This is a nice one. 8-6. Doesn't sound like it's been an exciting game with that score, but it has been a great football game. Trojans up by 2, 8-6 over the North High Stars, and it's been, as Kenny said, it's definitely been a trench war. It's been serious down there on that line of scrimmage, and then you've got these big backs in Markai Shaw and Kalen Deloney. You've got the speedy guys and Tyson Reynolds and Janreka Mappa. It's a great game tonight, so we're going to see 2:39 left in this game. Coming out of the huddle from the sidelines on a 3rd and 13. North High.
For those North High Stars, if they can pull something off with this 3rd and long, there might be a guy wearing number 7 that gets to play the game.
Okay, 3rd and 13. 2:39 left. Carson Bennett in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to his left and his right. He's in trouble, and they get him down. He couldn't get out of the pocket, and they get him down to the 43-yard line. 2 or 3 Trojans, and one of the big guys, Noe Ramirez, in there, number 75, and there was a couple other Trojans in there. I think it was number 56 that got in there, Brian Jacinto. Great job, and if I missed anybody else, apologies, but great pressure on Bennett at the perfect time. So North High calls the timeout, and Foothill draws up something, but no time to punt now with 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and now a timeout's going to be taken by Brandon Deckard. He sees that, okay, no punt coming. We need to be ready for this. And, of course, North High can't punt it. They've got to try to somehow pick up a very, very, very long 1st down. It's going to be 23 yards, 4th and 23. Is that what it is? Or 22. So with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left, Trojans have a 2-point lead, 8-6, and they are trying to keep the North High Stars from getting a 20-yard 1st down. I think it's more like 21 or 22. And if they can stop him on this play, it might just be victory formations until they can knock this thing out and go to 6-0.
Yeah, right now, Jacinto's looking like my player of the game for Foothill. He's wreaking havoc on that defensive line. I just got to be honest with you.
Okay, here we go. 4th and 20. This is the game for the Stars. They've got to put it up. They've got to get in protection. He lets it go. He lets it fly, and it is
almost
caught.
Great play by Tyson Reynolds with the pass breakup to win the game.
It would have been Mappa hauling it in for a touchdown, but nope. Tyson Reynolds with a huge hit right on time because he almost caught that, Kenny.
And he might have just put himself in the position to earn himself up the ladder with that kind of play. You just won the football game for your team because he had a step. Mappa had a step, and he had the ball. Great play by Reynolds to get there from the corner position all the way to the seam to break that up.
I'll tell you else who's happy is Kerry Osip from Channel 23 was right there in front of that play. It happened absolutely right dab smack in front of her camera. So how about this? 1:56. They put the ball on the ground, of course, or they keep it on the ground. And a timeout is going to be taken by Coach Deckard. He's got a couple more, so why not use them and maybe something can happen. But I'll tell you what a play by Tyson Reynolds. You got to hand it to Bennett. He put that thing on the money, and Mappa kept running. And had it not been for that hit right there, you're right, Kenny, that would have been a touchdown. And man, oh man.
You know, I don't like playing favorites. I like to be balanced. You know, I definitely was looking towards defensive and interior line play
yesterday,
and getting things done. But when you got a defensive back that's playing on both sides of the football, he's playing offense very well, and you get the game-winning play on a play that could have beat you, you definitely put yourself in a position to be player of the game.
And that's the key right there, because there's a lot of great athletes down there that have put a lot into this game tonight. But if you're looking to tilt the scales to a 6-0 start, that play did it.
2nd and 6, 1:51 to play. They got the board. It's saying 1st and 5, but it is 2nd and 6, and the ball is on the ground.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
So Manji has to cover up quickly, and that's going to have, I believe, Coach Bolin calling his last timeout. So that doesn't help at all. That ball on the ground, you got to be kidding me, boy. Coach Deckard, heart stopped for a second, skipped a beat, like what? Ay, ay, ay.
Amazing play by the Foothill defense led by Coach Leonard Nevels in that defensive coordinator position. He was so excited to get the job. I was one of the first people he called. You know, he's a great fullback, former linebacker, and just loves the game. Spent a few years in the central section in Fresno coaching at some teams up there, but came over here and joined Coach Deckard after coaching at South High. And this defense for Foothill just won them a football game to go 6-0.
All right, 3rd and 6. And they stay on the ground where they sweep it over here. And, of course, it's going to be Reynolds. And Reynolds goes out of bounds. They do pick up the first down. So that's going to be awfully tough now for it to be anything else other than a Foothill victory, as Coach Bolin and the Stars out of timeouts.
You know, it's a beautiful thing to see the game change lives. You know, so many people have their opinion about this beautiful game of ours and it just being a game. I disagree. Football is a way of life. If you're not bought into it, you don't get the opportunity to take advantage of it. If you allow it to be a vehicle in your life, it can take you around the world. And it's beautiful to see some of the younger players who I thought would never have an opportunity to play the game to find that opportunity and perform at this level.
Appreciate that, Kenny. Very, very true. Inside joke, having a little fun. Julian and I having a little fun with our man Casey. Hey, 6-0 for the Foothill Trojans. So Coach Deckard and his staff doing it. And Coach Richie Boland's got some young players, talented players in that North High School squad. So we're looking for good things from them. But tonight, it is an 8-6 victory for the Foothill High School Trojans, and they hung in there. Some great plays. And our Kern High Network player of the game the game-saving hit that jarred the ball loose. Tyson Reynolds will be given a Kern High Network shirt. Congratulations, Trojans. We will see everybody tomorrow night, either at the East-South game on the Kern High Network or Stockdale at BHS tomorrow night. On behalf of Julian Kinney and everybody at Foothill High School and the Kern High School District and the Kern High Network, this is Vance Palm saying good night and God bless.